Hello everyone and welcome to the weird, scary and horrible parts of humanity. Today we are looking at one of the most famous cases of infanticide in Brazil, the murder of 5-year-old Isabella Nardoni. Firstly, apologies for my pronunciation as I do not speak Brazilian Portuguese, and also apologies for any fireworks you may hear in the background as it is Guy Fawkes night. Isabella de Oliveira Nardoni was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil on the 18th of April 2002. However, her family situation was disintegrating well before she was born. Her mother, Ana Carolinta de Oliveira, met Alexandre Alves Nardoni while they were in high school, and the two started dating at the age of 14, which is the legal age of sexual consent in Brazil. At 17, Oliveira fell pregnant, and by this stage Nardoni was about to start studying law at university, and hence did not take the news of a pregnancy well. With the relationship disintegrating, they decided not to live together, and Oliveira stayed with her parents. However, Nardoni began dating Anna Carolinta Jatoba, who was studying law at university with him. With Oliveira giving birth to her daughter, Nardoni tried juggling both relationships, but when Isabella Nardoni was 11 months old, her mother became convinced that Nardoni was cheating on her, leading them to separate. Nardoni would eventually marry Jatoba and had two sons, Pietro, born in 2005, and Caroa, born in April 2007. Shared between her parents, Isabella Nardoni spent the majority of her time with her mother while she lived with her father, stepmother and stepbrothers from Friday to Sunday night, twice a month. This was court-ordered, in addition to paying Oliveira a monthly alimony of 250 real per month. However, Oliveira claimed that Jatoba was jealous of her past with Nardoni and alleged that over time Nardoni's family would avoid leaving Isabella with her stepmother when Nardoni was not around. A neighbour told Isabella's paternal grandmother that Jatoba was crazy and believed that one day she would kill her. Neighbours also alleged that Nardoni and Jatoba fought constantly. It is also believed that Jatoba was abusing Isabella Nardoni, with Isabella returning to her mother's house crying and often wanted to go back home before Sunday evening approached. On the evening of the 28th of March 2008, 5-year-old Isabella Nardoni was dropped off by her mother at Nardoni and Jatoba's apartment on the 6th floor at Edificio London on Rua Santa Leocadia 138 in the north zone of Sao Paulo. On the evening of Saturday, the 29th of March 2008, Isabella Nardoni allegedly fell from the guest room of the 6th floor apartment and was found alive but suffering from cardiac arrest in the front garden of Edificio London. When Ana Carolinta de Oliveira arrived, she often kissed her daughter, told her to be calm, that everything was going to be all right and that she loved her, but refrained from touching her in the event that it exacerbated her conditions. She died in the ambulance on the way to hospital. In line with Brazilian tradition, Isabella Nardoni's funeral took place shortly thereafter on the 31st of March 2008, and she was buried in Parque dos Pinheiros Cemetery in Jacana, Sao Paulo, with 200 people attending. During the funeral and wake, Nardoni did not speak to Oliveira, alleging that he was embarrassed by the situation. After the funeral, Oliveira posted several pictures of her daughter on Orkut as well as the funeral and wake, and received over 100,000 messages of support from members of the public. Orkut was a social media network affiliated with Google, created on the 24th of January 2004 before being deactivated on the 30th of September 2014. While designed primarily for users in the US and based in California, it saw phenomenal and unprecedented growth in Brazil and was eventually overseen by Google Brazil, with 50.6% of its users equating to more than 30 million people based in Brazil. On the 1st of April 2008, Nardoni, Jatoba and various relatives hired lawyers, which added fuel to the public's perceptions that the duo were guilty of murdering Isabella. Isabella's murder became one of the most infamous cases in Brazil, with a high level of Brazilian media coverage, and in surveys 98% of Brazilians stated that they were aware of the death of Isabella. The case was also covered by numerous gringo outlets, including the BBC, Le Monde, Reuters and Fox News. Nardoni and Jatoba were both taken into custody after the death of Isabella. Nardoni alleged that he arrived home with his family at 10:30 p.m. and placed Isabella in the guest room, turned on the bedside lamp and a lamp in the boys' room, locked the door to the apartment and went back to his Ford car, where his sons and Jatoba were. He then took Pietro and Caua up to the apartment and noticed that the light in Isabella's room was still on, and said that he saw a hole in the window safety net and saw Isabella's body in the front yard of Edificio London. He then asked for Jatoba, who was still in the Ford car, to call her father, which she did, with Nardoni allegedly in hysteria. However, the Sao Paulo Polícias Civis do Brasil doubted the story from the get-go, with Isabella Nardoni's blood found in the car and apartment of Nardoni, and her vomit was also found on his t-shirt. Additionally, footprints of her flip-flops were found on a bed next to the window that she allegedly fell from. Additionally, traces of nylon from the wire safety net in the guest room were found on Nardoni's t-shirt, with police finding fragments of a safety screen on a pair of scissors inside the apartment, with police proving that the safety screen was cut with scissors. Moreover, blood of Isabella was found on the canvas and on a bedsheet in the Nardoni apartment. Moreover, images released by TV news show Jornal da Noite on Rede Bandeirantes on the 8th of April 2008 showed security footage from hours before Isabella's death, with Nardoni in a supermarket with vomit on his t-shirt, leading to speculation that the vomit was a result of the asphyxiation of Isabella. Moreover, the GPS in Nardoni's Ford car revealed that the vehicle was turned off at 11:36 p.m. and 11 seconds, with police called at 11:49 p.m. and 59 seconds. This was only 13 minutes, and according to police, this was insufficient time for the events that Nardoni described to have transpired. Moreover, findings from the Instituto Medicol Legal found that Isabella had been punched and asphyxiated before allegedly falling from the window, and also that her wrists were broken, which was inconsistent with a fall. The Instituto Medicol Legal also found numerous fractures on her body. On the 30th of March 2008, Global News revealed that police had ruled out the possibility that Isabella had accidentally died. In the early morning hours of the 31st of March, Nardoni and Jatoba were released. On the 2nd of April 2008, the Sao Paulo Tribunal do Júri accepted the request for the provisional arrest of Nardoni and Jatoba, based on their conflicting testimonies, with both declared the main suspects in the murder of Isabella. On the 6th of April 2008, Oliveira was interviewed by Fantástico, one of the most popular and successful TV shows in the history of Brazil, broadcast on Sundays by TV Globo since the 5th of August 1973. She alleged that Isabella loved her father. However, both Oliveira and Nardoni had a distant relationship. On the 18th of April 2008, Nardoni and Jatoba were indicted by the Sao Paulo Polícias Civis do Brasil, with both continuing to claim their innocence. On the 20th of April 2008, Nardoni and Jatoba were interviewed on Fantástico and denied accusations made by the police that they had killed Isabella Nardoni. They also denied that there were fights in the apartment, and also denied claims they had treated her badly, arguing that they were a united family. At the time, both were staying with Jatoba's mother. However, on the 29th of May 2008, the Second Court of the Jury, Court of Sao Paulo, decreed that both would be imprisoned, with both turning themselves in. Nardoni was sent to the 13th Police District in Casa Verde, the North Zone, where detainees with a higher education are held. Jatoba was taken to the 97th District in Americanopolis, in the South Zone of the city of Sao Paulo. However, she was transferred to the Sant'Anna Women's Penitentiary in the North Zone of Sao Paulo on the 8th of May. Faced with numerous threats, she was later transferred to the Tremembé Women's Penitentiary, which is 138 kilometers from Sao Paulo. In November 2008, Nardoni changed his story, stating that Isabella had been thrown from the apartment by a robber. The trial of Nardoni and Jatoba began on the 22nd of March 2010, exactly 2 years after Isabella had died. Testifying on the first day, Oliveira alleged that Jatoba was extremely jealous of her and that Nardoni had once threatened to kill Isabella. She also alleged that when Jatoba called her on the 22nd of March 2008, she blamed Isabella for her own death. On the 25th of March 2010, Nardoni and Jatoba testified, with both denying that they had murdered Isabella. Nardoni testified that the Polícias Civis do Brasil had asked him to testify to killing his daughter, noting that if he testified it would be ruled as an accidental homicide with no intent to kill. He claimed that he was humiliated by this and that police weren't interested in figuring out why and how his daughter had died. He also claimed that the day when Isabella died was the worst day of his life. Moreover, he alleged that Oliveira did not want her child. Jatoba alleged that accusations against her and Nardoni were completely false and that Isabella was very attached to her and she cried during her interrogation. However, both contradicted each other, as Nardoni claimed that they had normal fights while Jatoba alleged that they fought constantly. After a 5-day trial on the 27th of March 2010, Nardoni was sentenced to 31 years, 1 month and 10 days imprisonment by Judge Mauricio Fosson, with Jatoba sentenced to 26 years and 8 months in prison. They were also given 8 months imprisonment for trying to clean up a crime scene, with both sentences to be served concurrently. Upon sentencing, Nardoni was expressionless while Jatoba cried. Aunt and godmother of Isabella, Cristiane, published on Orkut that her family would never understand why Isabella was murdered. Outside the courtroom, people launched fireworks to celebrate. The juror's lawyer appealed the sentence. However, 10 days later, Judge Mauricio Fosson denied the appeal. In July 2017, Oliveira entered a semi-open prison regime, while Nardoni would enter a semi-open prison regime in April 2019. This allowed them to both work outside the prison and have temporary leave during the year. In the same year, the case of Isabella was featured in an episode of a Brazilian TV show, Anatomia do Crime. However, Oliveira was caught in a video conference with her children inside the prison on the 23rd of June 2020, which led her to lose her privileges associated with a semi-open prison regime. Thank you for watching. Please do yourself a favour and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to inform yourself of when new videos come out. Also, why not hit that like button and leave a nice comment? It helps more than you know and your support is truly appreciated. Until next time, stay awesome, stay classy, be kind to everyone you meet. Have an amazing day and remember that truth is always more interesting than fiction.